as in the role of a manager, in that I have some experience in that space. Not that's not what I do currently. I do, like I said, community and ecosystem work with Cefic, but I have experiences in project management as well. So yeah, so I'm glad to be here. Glad to meet everyone.
Cool.
Oh, I'll just throw a bit of words in there. Well, welcome DeFi, Sage. We're trying to run this like a DAO, so as free as possible. So you just, as you hang around and you look around, and if you see something that you want to do, you just do it, right? Just try to contribute in whatever you have to do. Try to find who's kind of doing what, and then kind of like just contribute as much as you can in whatever way you feel, and however much you feel is the level of which you want to contribute. There's no like boss. There's no like anybody who's in charge and who's going to tell you exactly what to do and when to do it. It's just basically you just pick up whatever you want to pick up and work on that. So that's kind of what we're trying to do, and what we're trying to achieve in this sense is a free market, in the sense of like, the jobs are there and you just do the ones you want to do. And it's a little bit difficult right at this point for us to say, like, if you do this much work, you will get that much money. That's not something we are capable of quoting right now, but, we're just trying our best to like, create a DAO that's interesting and has a new structure, and it's not so traditional in the sense of the organization.
Cool. So Jax is here now. So we've Overlay is officially now a client, and we've got channels for so under Overlay Chat, just our normal channels that we have for clients. So like jump in, and Caesar's already done an interview with Jax, which we have got on unlisted. I guess it's unlisted. Is it unlisted, Caesar?
Yeah, it's currently unlisted. We're just waiting for like the full like go for it, and then we will like put it all unlisted and let people start listening to it and trying to figure out how they want to contribute.
Yeah, cool.
Jackson the overlay project has a little bit of a time delay. They kind of want things to go a little bit slower than normal, so they don't want us to rush out and like pump out all the content in the next 2-3 weeks. They kind of want us to go a little bit slower, so that like it the content comes out in a slower stream, so that there's more longer term exposure, but not as much as like our usual rush and get it all out as soon as possible. I have the video. I'm uploading it right now. It's actually uploaded. It's actually unlisted. I will share the actual link inside the Discord in the next when this talk is over, if anybody needs it.
Yeah,
Question
and
for Caesar.
Yeah.
Caesar?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to ask, right now, does the video have a thumbnail or no?
Yeah, there's no thumbnail, so that's why it's still unlisted. I didn't make any thumbnail. I figured, we should use the same format as all of our thumbnails. Like, so I don't have any original thumbnails, so I figured, we'll just keep the same thumbnail system as we've been using for the other clients. Just change the, like, obviously the text or the image, but the same format, right? That's what I was figuring. That's what I assumed you guys wanted to do, and yeah, all I did was.
Does Jax use a particular avatar or something like that?
Yeah, actually, the one you see here is one that one of the co-founders on our team created. I can actually send you the original if you'd like to use it.
hey,
Yeah,
Jax,
can you send me the original? That would be really great.
you should tell them a little bit about the cat and stuff. Like how the cat, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's like a ton of backstory, but basically, the team is like really quirky, and we all like cats. So one of the co-founders just decided to create a bunch of these like plank cats that have a bit of like I think it's like a mathematical data backstory to them.
Yeah. So the project's like pretty heavy on the mathematics. Like there's some serious mathematics going on in the background with some pretty heavy hitting maths geeks. So yeah. As soon as we start talking about maths, everyone goes silent.
Yep. Yeah, I just wanted to add that in addition to what Caesar said about us wanting to slow down, part of the reason is that the UI is getting revamped just because we were able to make a few additional hires on the dev side, and some of like the architecture of how the system is going to work is getting changed too. So I wanted to like let the devs like finish that out and hammer that out and be able to provide you guys the finalized like version of what we're going to launch, so all the content can be up to date.
Yeah. So I personally, I think that the more we can get like everyone to have just a really broad overview of what Overlay is and what it's going to be. It's like we're not doing how-to videos or anything, or like interface walkthroughs or anything. We're doing like overviewy kind of stuff, and hopefully soon maybe even some like, once we actually understand it, hopefully some like actual kind of diagrammy kind of drawings or something like that, just that really visually like explain it like in like, you know, a glance.
Yep.
Kind of thing. Like that's just my feel for like what we should be thinking that we're trying to kind of achieve over the next, you know, week or so, is just to get as many of us to like just kind of get it. Like, oh, okay, Overlay is, you know.
In the video interview I did with Jax does a pretty good job of explaining pretty much pretty in depth, but a good overview as well. Like if you just listen to that, you'll have a pretty solid understanding what's going on. Again, both Jax and I kind of stuck away from the maths and just talk mostly about the product, how it works, the main idea, and so forth. Myself, I will do an overview video when the actual UI is either live or at least close to then. So I'm kind of waiting for that. I might be able to think of some memes and stuff like that. We'll get some of the meme guys to get in there. But once I release this video, I'll do that in the next like 5-10 minutes or so. Then people can start like listening in and find out what is Overlay, and then maybe some brainstorming of like memes and stuff like that will come into play. Now I did tell Jax that they have the ability to kind of vet memes, because I'm not like to make sure that they're okay with anything. It's not too saucy, not too too flamboyant or whatever you want to call it, right? So just one of the things just try to remember and remind people is that like before you post a meme anywhere, just post it inside the Discord and allow them some time to check things over and stuff like that. Especially like in-depth articles or schematics or any kind of technical drawings. Those should probably be at least double-checked quick by at least one of us, or hopefully by Jackson and one of his team. And just get to work on that. So that's pretty much where I'm standing in my mindset.
Hi, I wanted to ask, does the Overlay protocol have like any docs online, like a Gitbook or something someone could look at?
Yeah, so if you go to the Overlay channels, so scroll down in the Discord and go to where it says Overlay chat, and there's a Trello board, and I've added links to the website, the Notion, the forum, just like I've added a lot of links and stuff like that. So just go into the overlay chat and up the top, you'll see an invite to the Trello. And from there, you'll be able to get to their Notion. And there's a ton of information there. Jax has done an awesome job of putting together like a lot of information. So there's actually shitloads that you can read. And there's also a white paper which is linked. So under protocol key resources for creators, there's the white paper link. And I recommend everyone to read through the white paper because it's actually fascinating what they're doing. Like it's really like it's fascinating. Yeah.
All right.
Check it out.
I will. Yeah.
Let me know if you have any problems getting into Trello as well. Because I've updated Trello this week. So
Yeah, I had a whole bunch of issues. Like pretty much everything is just wiped from memory. Like I wasn't able to get into any of the old Trello boards.
Yeah, so what I've done is because like I realized that it was going to cost us like $2,000 a month to have everyone in the business class Trello. So what I've done is I've just created like a free Trello workspace that we can have up to 10 boards. And we can have as many people in the Trello as we need to have. So the problem should be solved, and you shouldn't have any trouble getting into the Trello. Just in every one of the client chats, if you look up the top, like in the channel description, there's a link to the Trello board or an invite, and it should work. Like, but just the old Trello boards are gone; they're all deleted. I've copied them all over to the new workspace. So, yeah.
Sounds good. I uploaded the video to overlay completed. So it's not completed, Fugu. I'm gonna need you to tell Lem or whoever's doing the thumbnail to thumbnail it, and then we can unlist it. But for now, it is there for all the creators to access and at least listen to what Jax has to say about overlay and some of the questions I asked him.
Oh, cool.
All right, I'll speak to them probably tomorrow about that, and we'll make time together. And then maybe you think I should take the interview, chop it up, and do some subtitling?
Yeah. Fugu, I've got this thing. I've been testing it out. It's called Otter AI, and it does transcripts. So I've done a transcript for the interview, and I've given it titles, and it's got the timestamps already in it as well. I'm going to share that. I've shared that in the overlay channel. Check it out, and yeah, it might be useful for the timestamps and stuff. And
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get like a process for transcribing like all the interviews. It could be quite cool just to have that in text format. But it's good because, like, if you have a look at the document, you can just, like, say you want to know about liquidity mining or you want to know about the OVL token, how it works in the system. You can just, like, skip straight to that section, you know, which I guess that's what, you know, the timestamps do anyway, but it's just in a document form. So for people who are doing articles and stuff, could be quite handy. Yeah.
Especially for quotes, for sure.
Yeah. It's just it should be a good way for us to just fully make use of this interview, you know, like, yeah, because this is just as much about us getting to know what's going on as well, like in a nice, easy way. But I also think it's a good interview. And I think we can definitely like use it or as you would any other normal interview. Like,
Did you guys find any ways to like make it a little more visually appealing than just having like, the way it is of like, two little icons, a C and a J just talking, like any kind of like ideas for this? Like I heard somebody talking a little while ago about putting some sort of wave inside, but I think you'd have to render the whole video again, right? Is that correct, Fugo, or was that you talking about that?
Yeah, if you wanted some sort of visual graphic on top instead of what you have currently, where it's showing some sort of like movement in the voice of the person speaking, you would have to take it down and re-upload it, which is not a huge deal because it's unlisted. So you're not really worried about like losing your viewer count.
We're not too worried about the viewer count on the actual YouTube account anyways, because it is the Creator DAO account, but it would be nicer for us to like share out if it was a little more visually appealing. However, we could go with something along the lines of more of like a podcast. Maybe we can consider a podcast as well, and we could just upload audio, because most of the podcasts I listen to, I don't use YouTube to listen to them, because you have to leave your screen on to listen to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I tend to use the podcasts, and since we're not really worried about ad revenue and stuff like that, especially at this point, I think maybe we can definitely explore the idea of using a podcast as well.
Yeah, I've tried to look into
for
this.
these
So
long interviews.
So in that case, I could just make a nice thumbnail and use it as a thumbnail for the video, but also use it as an image to overlay over the whole video. Like, I don't know if you care if there's a moving waveform over it or not, but maybe it's totally fine just to have a static picture for it, because something like crypto, I don't know. Most people that do crypto stuff, I think crypto people are maybe more podcast listeners than YouTube watchers, at least the people that are serious into DeFi and that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys listen to like the Defiant or Up-Only and that kind of stuff, but it's like if I'm listening to that kind of stuff, I don't watch the guys on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you, especially driving and
I
stuff
agree.
like that, right? When you're driving, you don't need to look, right? You just want to listen to it, and that's the point of an interview. We're not. I remember we did that the tweet talks a little while ago, and Dunks like basically jumped around through all the websites and highlighted stuff. That's a different appeal, I think. That's different than this in the sense of like, that has visual quality, visual a reason to watch, right? But these interviews that tend to be just like like a wavelength or some cool like screensaver. I agree with you. Like it's mostly for the audio, right? And the only reason why we use YouTube is because it makes sense to have the views. But yeah, I think just even if you just throw the thumbnail across the entire video, that would be fine too. And even maybe the way it is, it's does it really matter if like, because people will just, mind you, they might see some things that I don't know.
What if we were going to have a podcast? What platform would we use? Like, you can just syndicate them anyway, right? So it doesn't really kind of matter where you start. Like, you can just syndicate it to like Spotify and I don't know what other podcast platforms people use. Like,
With Gabriel Haynes, we use Anchor.fm.
okay, so you just upload the audio to Anchor.fm and it syndicates
Yeah, I
it?
think it's integrated with Spotify or something. I'm not really sure how it works.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna check out. Hey, do you want to do you use Anchor FM? Do you want to do a set it up?
Yeah, I use it. Yep.
Could you do that for us?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because that'd be sweet. Because I reckon, yeah, like if it's just a pure straight audio, like let's just have like a syndicated like podcast like show and try and start growing like listeners. Like obviously we put it
I feel. Sorry. So I want to say that I feel that the podcast strategy could be could be the most optimized means of reaching a large percentage of people, because that could work if because I personally, right, I spend most of my time listening to podcasts, for Fuku said, for crypto related matters and crypto related material. I just prefer the podcast, basically, right? You could listen to them while you are at the gym, while you're having a run, while you're driving. So basically, it's seamless, basically. So I feel like the podcast, and then this is not, we are going to have a series of interviews, according to the roadmap I've seen, probably doing a lot of interviews of projects like this and going forward. So it will make sense to have a place where you collate all this stuff. So people that come around can easily just go there and see all the previous interviews that have been done, and then, all the projects that we have really, interacted with and all that. I feel like the podcast is really a good idea, and it's something we should work with.
I have a little bit more to add to this as well. Like a lot of us that are content creators and already have YouTube channels and YouTube audiences, it would seem very strange for me to put this kind of content on my channel because it's not what's to be expected by my audience, right? So I kind of can't put an interview on my channel. Maybe Gabriel could do on his, but maybe it's outside his realm of desired content, right? So if we're using this YouTube, it's not going to get a whole lot of views on the Creator DAO, as like it wouldn't get any more views here than it would on a podcast. So it really makes no sense for us to not put it on podcast as well. And then it'll give us double tweets, right? We could tweet out, you could check it out on YouTube, and then like maybe a day or two later, we could tweet out again, like, oh, it's now live on podcasts for those of you who didn't want to use the YouTube, or vice versa, right? So I think we can like use Twitter to just get the Creator DAO podcast out. If it's my vote, I would vote for podcast first, like launch on podcast first, and then launch on YouTube second, because like what you guys are saying, it's such a more pleasant experience to listen to a podcast on a podcast than it is to listen to a podcast on YouTube. It's just because you have to. So I would say, just like no question about it, I would think it would be valuable to have some podcast like an Anchor app, and then like I use the podcast thing I use is Pocket Casts Plus. That's the app I use, and all I did was I just searched for Gabriel Haynes and I got it. They're all just like sent out all over. They're just distributed everywhere, right? So it's actually might even get more listens than our YouTube channel at this current time.
Quite possibly. And also, so this one piece of content, like this one interview, like if we transcribe it and then can be used in other articles, and we can publish the transcript as an interview on our website, and then it's like syndicated across a bunch of podcasts, like, so just off that one thing we can, like it's still one piece of content for the client, right? Like they're not paying for like 5 different things because it's all one thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, it's content that it can be in like 3 or 4 different formats. So it's pretty cool, because some people might want to read it. Like someone might be like, I don't want to listen to it, I just want to read it, which I think would probably be kind of weird, but
I think it's fine. Like occasionally I get some comments on my YouTube channel that say things like, your voice is like torture to me, things like that, right? So I think, definitely there will be at least a few people that might be like, I want to read this, or I listen to it now, I want to read it because then it'll really sink in, I'll really understand it better. So I think, putting like a podcast and then also like a page on the website that's just like read the transcripts. If it's easy, if it's like AI pulled and you didn't have to like type everything, then I don't see why not, right?
Well,
to me, And it would be easier for translation and all that as well, right?
Well, there is a little bit of work in doing it, but I think it's worth it because firstly, like, you get the titles, so you actually know, like, okay, this is what's in it. So then it's kind of easier to, like, say someone wants some more information about, the latest information about how liquidity mining works or whatever, then you can easily find it because it's like, it's actually been properly titled. And like, also just for SEO, like, if you've got like a 1,000-word interview published on an index by Google, then potentially over time, like, it could start getting some organic traffic. Like, so there's that to think about as well, So if we did publish all of our audio, or not, maybe not all of it, but things where it made sense, over time we could build quite a substantial amount of organic traffic through Google.
I would think just the pillar interviews would be the best thing to just focus on. Just get that transcribed and then maybe translated if the translators feel the desire to do that, right? But yeah, I think if it's really just like, like transcribe, like say like whoever wants to listen to this, they could transcribe it first and then just listen and read along at the same time. And then they would get their exposure, they would understand what is overlay, and at the same time they would be able to run those edits on the transcription where, my pronunciation has screwed up the robot or something, So
Yeah.
it kind of is, just try to be efficient about it, like try not to waste time on it and, transcribe just for the sake of transcribing,
Yeah, well, like transcribing like a walkthrough or something like that would just be wouldn't be that good. Although you could possibly transcribe a walkthrough and then have it as a blog post for someone who wanted like a step-by-step guide or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never tried to transcribe a walkthrough, so I don't really know how it would come out, But yeah, definitely the pillar content. It's just good practice to just, like, I went through and listened to it and edited it, and now I know what's in that interview. Like if someone wants to know what's in it, I can pretty much tell them,
Yeah, that's good. How are you? Just to shift the topic a little bit, Dunks. How are you about like project managers? Like, I know B was helping you. Have you got anyone else helping you right now?
Yeah. So there's a channel called Project Management, and there's a role called PM, and I've added a few people that may not want to be specifically project managers. But I've added a few people. I'm just trying to find the channel. Yeah, so B's doing an awesome job. Like B's doing like Genome, like B's like running the Genome like project. Yeah, but if anyone else wants to like throw their hand up, and so DeFi Sage has like put his hand up to help with kind of managing our project, the Discord, and maybe eventually doing some like workshops or something like that for new creators or stuff like that. So that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one of the issues that we have to try to address, and that is have a set like kind of idea of like where we're lacking in help, like what kind of help we need in different senses. Like I don't know like how swamped you feel with the projects that you're currently managing and stuff, whether you can take on more. But I think in sustainability's sake, it would be better if you were like training project managers to just manage one project than you having to juggle a whole bunch at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, that would just be better for the long term, I think. Maybe people will leave and then you're wasted time training them for nothing, right?
Yeah, well, hopefully we can like put together some. Like I've been trying to do a couple of videos, like just kind of showing stuff. So I'll keep doing that, and I'll make like a little library of just videos of kind of how things are working. Like obviously things are changing the way we're working as well as we learn. Like one thing I made, I don't know if I already said this, but I made like channels for Creator DAO, like as if Creator DAO was a client of Creator DAO, so that people can like, because like, you know, if let's say one day Cesar might want to do a video about Creator DAO and like explain what it is and like say, you know, this is what we are and this is how it works. Maybe when we drop a token or something, like maybe he'll do it then, and like so then he can like put that in completed work, and then he can be like, hey, I want to, you know, and then we can like give him money for doing it, and we can just have like a chat about, okay, well, how are we actually doing marketing for Creator DAO, you know, specifically like on our own channels, like, you know, are we going to pay people for that, like, or are they going to do it? Like we could do it that someone has to do it just to get into the DAO, like for example, you know, like so. But I actually made the channels, so someone could like be the project manager for that if they wanted to, you know, like.
Yeah, I think this is a good job for Trite, since he kind of wanted to do the onboarding anyways. I really like your idea that you just threw out there now, that it's kind of like, you know, the initiation is like create some content for Creator DAO, and then we would then look at that content and be like, yeah, that's solid. Let's let him to get his fingers into the clients as well.
Yeah.
And you know, like I don't know about paying them or not. That would be something we would probably have to discuss as an entire DAO. But if it were my vote, I would say, you know, this is kind of like the apprenticeship. You know, you do it for free. It's just one piece of content. I have done a lot of content for free. So anybody who's complaining about doing one piece of content for free, I don't know. You know, do we really need to deal with that? You know, just.
It would be like a really good way to learn about how things work. Like someone who's done some awesome stuff was Wazzy Capital. Like they did like, they just basically documented a bunch of stuff that we really did need to be documented and published it on Twitter, and it was pretty awesome. And like now you like know that Wazzy Capital is like fully pretty much up to speed with how things work and what's going on, because they like literally documented it and published the content, you know. And so it'd be an awesome way to learn, like for a new person to just be like, okay, let me learn what I can about this thing and then tell everyone, and then it's like, okay, well, I get it now. So like it's kind of killing two birds with one stone. It's like, yeah, I think it would work pretty good. Hey, B.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with that. Anybody who comes, like, that would be an ideal job for them. You know, we would get some more exposure to our product, to the Creator DAO, as well as vet somebody's desire to actually do some work, because you know, it's the Creator DAO is very untraditional in the sense that we don't promise people how much money they're going to make, because we don't know, right? We really don't know right now, like, oh, you know, you're going to get this much for a video, this much, because it's too hard, you know, for us to figure this out exactly, right? And we don't know how much content will be produced for each client, because you know there's different levels of enthusiasm and just engagement, right? So it's a bit tough in that sense to say exactly how much each piece of content is worth or how much revenue it will stream in. So I think it's a good way to vet people. I'm on board with that. I think and I think Trite is the person who's kind of designing that, and we can use WASI Capital's idea as an example of what you can do. Now, obviously, we don't want people to just copy and paste his Twitter thread, produce some unique content in that sense. But I like this. I didn't see his Twitter thread. I saw his Notion, but I didn't see a Twitter thread. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it didn't get into my notifications or something. Maybe I'll go. Did you guys retweet it from the Creator DAO?
Yeah, I think I did. I retweeted it.
Let me go through and see if I can find it.
Hey, so there's a thing. This is like a different topic. I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but there's a guy who was chatting with me and Gabriel about like a DAO LLC in Wyoming. So he did it for his. He did it. I guess he lives in Wyoming, and you know how maybe everyone here, most people here already know that there's like a thing in Wyoming, which is a state in the United States of America, where you can have a DAO and have it connected to an LLC. And he offered to do that for us. And there's a poll and create a general chat where it's basically like a vote, like, should we do this? He wrote a proposal, and the link to the proposal is on the poll. I'm gonna just like bump it back to the like, so if you go in the create a general chat, you'll see it. Personally, I think it could be quite cool to have an LLC in a like a Wyoming DAO. Like, I don't know that much about it, but it might come in handy. I don't know what everyone else thinks about that.
I see your post.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I see the post, but I don't see the original.
So that in the post there's a doc linked. Hopefully everyone can see the doc. He's kind of proposed it as a piece of content. So he's going to like document the process, stuff like that. And he's put some links to his, like, so we know who he is and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think I voted that we needed more information.
Yeah.
What benefits do we have
Well,
being an LLC?
well, I guess one benefit would be that if someone wanted to pay us like with like US dollars or something, we would have a bank account. And like, I don't know.
See, to me, to that extent is like we deal with crypto. I don't really see us coming across any clients that are like, hey, we don't use crypto. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's going to happen where they're going to be like, well, what's USDC? What's ETH? We don't know how to pay with ETH. I don't think that's going to happen. But maybe there's some other reasons. However, like, because we're so international, like, we live all over the world, I don't think it's fair to the entire DAO to be like, to create an LLC in an American state for the Americans. But I don't know. I don't know of the like you said, the perks, the benefits.
The benefit,
and he is charging us, like, he wants to charge us what, like $2,000 or something?
Yeah. So I think that's
to set this up. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we can look into it, but I don't know if I have to be convinced of what what this does for my vote. But mind you, I'm just one person, so I don't know.
I think it's possible that for people who do live in the US, like Gabriel, and others, the limited liability company, I guess, like is self-explanatory. Like it limits your liability. Like Jax, have you looked in? Do you know much about this? The Wyoming thing,
Yeah. Yeah, not too much about the Wyoming thing, but I guess I can speak on behalf of like being in the US and trying to get compensated by like other DAOs as well. I think it's definitely easier if there is like a legal entity that you can point to and say that you did some contracting work with them and you have like stablecoin receipts to do your taxes accordingly.
Right. What about in terms of like, let's say we dropped a token and well, like what kind of liabilities would you want to be limited from? Like, I'm like a self-confessed retard when it comes to law. I have no idea, but I assume that there's some kind of legal protections that potentially could be in play around the token, like.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, I was just gonna say potentially, and it might make it easier for you guys to deal with like other entities that need like a legal entity on paper to deal with, rather than just like a multi-sig on Ethereum.
Right.
There is a lot of like centralized companies that have proposed to me to work with them, and they want to pay me purely like salary based, no crypto. Like they might pay me with crypto, but it's all on the books. They want to know like everything about me, where I live, all this kind of stuff. So if we had clients of that nature, then we might want to consider this. But I think the way we're growing right now, I don't think it's a major concern, and I don't think that this kind of service of creating an LLC will disappear. It's not a limited time offer, right? I think it would come around for a long time. And if we came across a large client that was like a centralized something or entity that wanted to put everything on the books in the tax sense, then we could explore that at that time. And I'm sure they would be able to help in that nature as well if they're like, I don't know, just to throw a name out there, like Kraken, like say Kraken says to us, hey, we want you to promote for us, right? Then we might have to consider this route. But like if we're dealing with like all these like, anonymous or semi-anonymous smaller clients who are just tokenizing things, I think we're okay for now. But I don't know, like, again, I'm kind of the same as you. I live in a place where I don't need to worry about taxation so much and so forth. So I don't really, to me, I don't see a benefit. But I'm in a selfish position, right, where I don't have to worry as much as other people.
Does anyone else have any input on the whole LLC DAO thing?
I don't think so. I think you covered the main issues there. For some of it makes sense. For others, it doesn't. There's a lot of pros and cons, I think, to it. So maybe just wait and see for now. And as the DAO progresses, if it makes sense to do it, like if there's a real need that we're seeing, then go ahead and start the process.
Yeah.
That's my thinking about it.
Cool. What else did we have?
If I could mention something,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's okay to do it now or later.
Go for it.
Yeah, just take the floor. Go for it.
All right, I appreciate it, guys. So when I first got aware of like the DAO, I wanted to get involved, be part of it, but that initiation process is a little bit confusing. Like when you get into the Discord, there's so many channels. I don't even know where to start. So that was the first thing. So the new creators start here. I guess that's helpful because it's at the very top. But when I did click it, like all the links, like there's a message from Caesar. There's a message from Dunks over here. It's kind of confusing. I'll be honest with you. Like I don't know exactly like how to start and get involved. Like I asked Gabriel, and he said just to like dig in there. So I just dug in there for like a couple hours to read through all the channels to kind of get a sense of what's going on. But like as a creator, I kind of just want to figure out what it is, like what does it provide, and then what can I do to, support the DAO. And as a creator, I guess that was like my main question was like, what can I produce for the DAO? And that was kind of confusing to me. So maybe if we can bring some clarity to like new creators coming into the DAO and give them a clear direction on what they can work on. Because for me, that was kind of convoluted. I'm done.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm trying to. I've been trying to work on improving that. Like, one thing I've done is I put a video on the join form, which you probably missed because you would have already been in. But what if we just directed people to, as a first thing, to actually, well, you can't really get people to create content about it without actually knowing what it is, right? So that's kind of...
See, what we need to do, in my opinion, is we need to set up a simplified step, like just a docs. If we had our own docs and then had people just create content on what the doc says in some sort of sense, like what we're saying about the vetting, create something about Creator DAO, and then they get access to the clients and so forth. That's kind of the easy way to do that. But on the other hand, like, I'm also on the fence about just like letting people just let them create, like just let them get access. Like anybody who takes the time to like do some sort of like reading and maybe fill in like a Google form or something of that nature, then that would be enough to be like, you know what, you're ready. You took the initiative to go through like a 30 question Google form or something. Then obviously you're interested, and it's not just somebody looking for an airdrop, right? And just let them get in on the clients and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of on the fence in my sense, but it's not my call completely. But I do agree that like every time I come to the Discord, it kind of gets bigger and bigger, and there's more and more channels, and maybe you got to try to rein in those horses that you got for making new channels to try to explain different things for different uses, and maybe just we was really simplify the Discord down to just like new creators explanation, new creator general chat. And then maybe that's all they need, and then it's just right into clients, and after they go through that the general chat and the maybe whatever process we come up with to educate new people on what is Creator DAO, that people who want to be creators, then maybe that's enough. Like it kind of seems like we don't want creators to come and be like, yeah, this is too much. Like, what do I got to do? And then they just lose interest and they're gone. And then we lose that potential asset of somebody who would create content for one of our clients. And whether they, any content created is probably good content to some degree, right? There's I don't think there's any really bad content.
Yeah, well,
so
we definitely don't want to lose DeFi Trader. I don't know if you guys have seen his channel and stuff, but I guess we didn't lose you though, bro, because you're still here.
It's very confusing though. Like as a new person trying to get onboarded, like I'm pretty lost. So one thing that you did mention, Dunks, I've done this in my own Discord, is make a introduction video for newcomers to explain all the different channels and then how to actually start to produce that first piece of content. So for me, like, I wanted to produce a piece of content, but I didn't even know what to work on. I didn't know what needs to be done. I didn't know what was done already. So I didn't want to make like a duplicate piece of content. So those things I needed like clarification on. And I think I've got like clarification because I've just dug into it and just read like a bunch of messages and just read through all the channels. But I know a lot of people won't do that. Like I just took the time, spent hours reading through all the channels. And I know there's probably a better way than that.
Yeah, I'm going to make a way where people can get everything they need to know to get started in like 5-minute video. I
And also,
kind of,
and also,
yeah.
I think what DeFi traders, what he's bringing up here is something that we've been struggling with, is this idea of just knowing what content has already been produced, what content needs to be produced, and maybe just like a short summary about the project, like for each client. Because again, it should be pretty easy. All right, we have these 5 pieces already done. We still need article, video. And now if you're a new creator, you can just jump in and start doing that. I think that is one of like the key things that we should like make, because, you know, DeFi trader's right. I mean, all the information is there, but it's not easily accessible.
I completely agree with you, Gabriel.
so this is why
I think maybe an intro video will really simplify it, honestly. Like if we can just get somebody to make an intro video for those things.
What are the key? I can make a video. What are the key things? I mean, like, because at the end of the day, I don't think that for me, what I'm missing is that kind of like landing page where it just shows all the content that needs to be created and has already been created. I mean, I guess it's the Trello, but it's not always easy for people to understand. It's not always updated. So I think that is one of the key things here, rather than a video. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you're right then. Maybe just like a video for like to tell people that, because I don't know, sometimes videos are just a little bit easier. Like I see a video, it's like, okay, I'll click on this. It might give me like some quick information. That's really important. Versus I see like a ton of channels and then just a bunch of different links and a bunch of chat messages everywhere. So it like a video is just more like engaging and more like kind of clickbaity, right? To get people to start somewhere. So
One of the things-
I don't necessarily think you need a video. I just will be kind of like very complimentary to what you initially said, to have like a landing page that just makes everything clear.
Hey, can you guys all, when you get a chance, I've just put a link to the join page on the website. I've put a video there. It's not like I would like to redo it and do it better, but like if you get a chance, like check it out, because there's a frequently asked questions section, and then there's a form, and then there's a video. So if you get a chance, there's a link to it, and I've just posted it in creator only general chat. I'll just tag everyone and just let me know like how it can be improved. Because if we just
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. It looks fantastic. The thing is that the issue, I think, for me is the live update. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the live, like what content is already done.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. So I think for that, what I've tried to do is for each client. Okay, well, here's the thing. So one problem is like, so we don't just want to be like sending everyone into the client chats straight away without them knowing what's going on. Because if they get in there and they start annoying the clients or making, content without really knowing what's going on, then we're going to have a different problem. So we've got that creator role. So maybe we give that creator role to people who we think can actually like
How about this?
Yeah.
How's this sound? How about we somehow we produce a video that explains what is
About
Creator
10 minutes.
DAO? Hello. What is Creator DAO? What is the creator role? And then give them a small, like, quiz, just a little, like, you watch the video, you answer the quiz, and then now you're a creator. And then they just get access to the client information. Like, I was considering this idea and I was presented it, and like, I asked you guys for your feedback and stuff of having like just like project managers, and you just basically talk to the project managers, because this is the biggest issue is like there's all these, we have these clients, and even me, like I'm pretty active here and I don't exactly know exactly what needs to be done for which client. I kind of got a pretty good idea, but if I was new, I would have no idea. And even like someone who comes by once a day, it's very hard for them to be like, oh, we need to produce this many things for this client and this many things for that client. So if we just had like some sort of like, even a spreadsheet, but maybe a spreadsheet looks ugly and it's not the best choice, but you get the idea of just like, this client requires this many things, that client requires this many things, and then just checking it off. Like the Discord doesn't work very well because it's so spammy and so many links, and like, I guess we could use a pinned message at the top, but then, you'd have to explain to everybody they have to go to the pinned message, see what's connected, and then everybody has to like, oh, I produced a video, I need to, check off one of those things. And this is the biggest problem we're having, is just, getting things really laid down, what has been done, what needs to be done, and then new people who come can just be like, oh, they need a video for this. I can do my research. I can do the video. Like, I think, I don't know.
Someone said like, it'd be sick if we had like a dashboard. Just basically what DeFi Trader said, like, so like you come into a dashboard, like, well, what Gabrielle said too, So you come to a dashboard, you see what jobs have been done and what jobs need to be done, and you get like any other information, like, like any kind of warnings or anything about how the client wants things to be done, like if they don't want you to do something, then it's like clear, like just like a kind of a dashboard. Like we could probably make like a dashboard eventually, but in the meantime, I don't know.
Would it be difficult to create like on the website in a sense where like there's a single page that has 3 or 4 or 5, however many clients we have at that time, and you see their logo and a quick description of which one, and it's just basically, which project are you interested in contributing to? And then they click on that, they go into the next page, and then it shows a list of the content that was required and how much has been completed. That's it. That's all I think anybody needs.
Yeah.
And then it will be up to an individual, the project manager, to consistently update that. When a video is produced, I need to, on that page, it'll say, oh, you want to produce a video? When you finish it, send it to this person on the Discord, or this person, give them their contact information. It doesn't have to go out immediately. It's not like rush, like produce the video, it's got to go out right away. No. Like I can produce it, unlist it, share it with whatever. And then just give it like, let them come back to me with, okay, now make it public. Now let's tweet it all out. I think this is the issue we have, is we don't have like that very organized controller who's like really saying, oh, this is ready to go, send it out. This is ready to go, send it out. And it's a hard job. So like, I don't know, like maybe we need a person for that specific job. I don't know.
What?
Wouldn't that be like the project manager? And can't all this stuff just be done like in a spreadsheet too, honestly? Just somebody needs to be in control of it and manage it though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it is the role of a project manager, kind of like what B is doing with Genome, stepping up there. I think that probably each project should have a project manager that is just kind of the person who is the go-between between the creators and the client, and who kind of like controls the project. I think that doing a spreadsheet would be great. Because there's two problems. The first problem, like the main problem is having something to display it, but the second problem is actually having people update it. And then that's the key. Like, how is it going to be continually updated? Who's responsible for that? And maybe it does come on the project manager.
Yeah, I think that might be a good, system to be put in place there. Have that project manager, how you said, be the go-between, and have that one really manage like what's done and what's not done, what needs to get done.
Hey, DeFi Trader, if we had, like, if the first thing that you saw from us was, okay, this is a DAO where you can get paid to create content with clients or whatever, and then if you're interested, book a call with one of our project managers, and they will find out what kind of content you create. They'll let you know about what projects are on, and like get you started. Like, would you book that call, or would you be like, do I really need a call for this?
I don't think
Yeah,
you want
that would actually really help. Actually, if I could have talked to somebody that would have like kind of just held me by the hand, like, hey, this is how to get started. This is what you need to do if you want to produce the first piece of content. And then I know exactly what to do. I have like one person I can kind of like just ask for help and just get started right away, versus me jumping into Discord, get confused, and waste hours trying to figure out what I need to do.
Yeah.
Or eventually some people might just get discouraged and just leave. So
yeah,
I think that might be a good idea. But we have to have somebody who would like to do that.
I would do that. Like, so, because one thing is like, a lot of people make, do articles and videos, but some people do other things too, like someone might be doing like, data analytics, or someone might be doing like some weird shit that might be real cool, but no one else does, and like, so if you chat to them and find out what they do, like this is something that Trite said as well, like if someone actually knows like who the person is and what they do, and then that's like made known to the rest of the project managers and to the rest of the DAO, then kind of that probably helps a lot too. So it probably would be a good idea, just even like a 15-minute onboarding call for creators. Like,
yeah, not even like maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes would be good enough. And you brought up a good point. Like, if you're able to distinguish what their skill sets are, you can supply them with what they'll be good at, versus them selecting something that that might not really be best applied to them with their skill sets. So I think that might be a good thing.
Right. Like I don't think it's a bad thing that we've got these intricate channels and these kind of a little bit kind of more detailed processes, like, because there will be people who'll be like, yeah, I love Trello and I love project management and I love like getting in and reading all the notes and shit. But there's a lot of people who just won't want to do that too. Like, they're like, if I can't find out in 5 minutes what I can do, then I'm just not going to do anything. Like, so if we can kind of have a process that caters for those people, and then for people who want to dive like right in and, like get involved in building the DAO and shit like that, then this stuff's all here. But if we have something that's just like super easy for people to get started creating content as well, and probably probably like a 10-minute call would, like, at least people would feel like, okay, yeah, like I know what's going on and I know what I can do, and then, yeah.
Can I jump in here for a sec? I would like to ask B for her opinion on how does she feel she's handling Genome, and how she feels like, what are some of the challenges and the achievements that she's been able to have by the short time she's been doing that.
Well, it hasn't been too difficult in terms of talking directly with the point person from the Genomes project, and just getting an idea of what they want and also any specific requests they have, and then communicate that back to our team. I think I feel quite organized in a way because I know certain things that the clients want by end of this week, and I know I have communicated that to our team, and we have produced the content that they wanted so far. So I feel quite organized so far.
Do you?
That's,
I'm sorry. Do you have any plans for future content? Like, how do you have any fears or any like kind of like worry about like, oh, who's gonna do this next thing? Like, I need someone to like make a picture. Who am I gonna do? Like, do you have any of these problems?
Well, I think since I have been with Creator DAO since I don't even know how long, 2 weeks ago, I kind of know who does what and who is good at what kind of content. So I know who to go to if the client say they wanted a meme or they wanted something for their pre-sale hype. I know who to go to, but I think one thing that I'm not too sure about is we don't kind of like what we discussed earlier. I think people are still confused about what content still needed to be produced and what has been done. So if we have just a simple checklist for every project, basically what has been done, we can check it off, and what has not been done, we could leave it open for anyone to volunteer for. I think that would be helpful.
B, first of all, fantastic job with Genome so far. Would it be possible for you to just compile a list of the content we've already created on a spreadsheet? And we have the proposal that I sent to Genome, so we know exactly what we need to deliver. So if I can work with you, just so that we can use Genome as a template, so that we can try to get this a little bit more organized, because I think this is a big problem. And again, I think that the role you're playing, each project should have a person that is doing what you're doing, essentially. But I think that the additional responsibility would be to just have it organized, like you said. But it's all in your head. We just need to share that easily accessible with all the other people, who are involved. So do you think we could do something like that?
Yeah, I think that would be really good, just to get everybody on the same page, and like even for newcomers, if they haven't been with the project, they could just come in and get a quick glance of what's been happening and what still needs to be done. Yeah, I can work with you on that.
I have something to just air out and put out here on the table, and that is the layer of like confidentiality of certain projects. Is this something that we want to try to maintain some sort of like, this client has this agreement and that client has that agreement, and they don't exactly meet, perfectly aligned, it's not exactly the same deal. Is this something we need to like address, and something we need to like maintain a secrecy kind of, this deal is their deal and this deal is their deal, like, or should we just let everything right out into the open? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure where to go with this, but it's something I think.
With this particular issue, I think it's not such a big problem, because the way we have it set up now is that each point person is in their own Discord. So, Mark from Genome doesn't have access to the Complify. So it's not like he's going to be able to see necessarily what we have, agreements with there. So I would just say, let's be very careful, just saying only in the particular channels which, we're working on to talk about the deliverables. Don't go in the general chat and say, we have to deliver, 10 videos for this product, by the end of the week. So, you know what I mean? Just keep it focused in the channel. And I think we have been doing that already. So I think it's okay.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to put it out there so that it gets mentioned. I think it's kind of like it's an interesting idea because I think we've also been pretty like standardized in our agreements with the clients as well. Like we haven't given any like favors or haven't done any like deals that are like disproportionate, right? I think we've been doing pretty good for that, so that's not a problem or anything. But I think we should try to like really simplify it. Like I think a spreadsheet and a project manager that will make it very simple, very easy. Oh, I'm interested in Complify. I talk to B. B tells me what I need to do, and then I get it done. There are a lot of people who just want that. A lot of content creators, they don't want to be per se like part of the entire DAO. They just want to stop by once in a while and pick up a job, do the video, and then wait for whatever compensation comes, right? So if we can tailor the DAO to this, I think that is powerful because people, they have lives, they have their own things already. Like any content creator that's coming here with absolutely no prior engagements, they're not really content creators yet. You know what I mean? So I think that's what we kind of have to try to tailor it to, like tailor to this kind of situation where it's not such a burden to take part. It's just like a job board, and they can just come in and be like, oh, that job looks interesting. I want to make that video, or I want to write that article. And then they do it, right? That's the vision I have, at least.
And that's a huge benefit to content creators because I myself, like, I want to create content for good projects, but to sift through all those like messages and emails is just, it's overwhelming sometimes. And to see like what, like out of hundreds of emails is like, what's a good project? It's just a waste of time. So having the DAO do that is very valuable. I think it's a great benefit to content creators.
Absolutely. I think that's part of the service that you don't have to, also you don't have to sell yourself. If you find a project you like, you don't have to like negotiate. You already have it all set up. Totally agree.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very convenient, I think. It's very, very valuable.
I also agree with Caesar. I think this is definitely a problem we've been having, but I'm going to work with B and we can use a Genome as a good template for a system, an organizational system. It shouldn't be too difficult, especially since, Genome, we're just starting out and it's, we have all the content pretty much laid out. Complify, we're already pretty much done, so I don't think there's really a necessary to do this. And then Basket, of course, we're going to have to adapt a similar strategy that we're going to do with Genome. I have to jump off this call in a few minutes, but one topic that I've been thinking about is the idea of the compensation. Initially, when we discussed, paying out creators, it would be, only to the creators. But obviously, we've noticed that there's a lot of other work, such as a project manager, that isn't necessarily creative, but is necessary, along with the work that Dunks has been doing, lots of different stuff. So I'm thinking if there is a way that we should adjust the voting, or like who gets to vote on what, or what, who gets payment for what. I think we should just, instead of having it, okay, it's this for videos, this for articles, this for, graphics, it should be more like you contributed to this project in this way. Does that make sense? Like, I was a project manager for Genome, and that will be your submission, So I think that will allow more people to participate, not strictly creatives. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's a good one because everybody contributing should get, remuneration. So nobody should be working for free. And the project managers are facilitating, a lot of it. So they should get compensated. Maybe they should get like a cut out of the overall package that's negotiated. Maybe they'll get like a 5%, or I don't know percentage, but maybe just get like cut.
I think for right now, we'll just continue, like, we'll do the voting with Coordinate, and we'll see how the distribution turns out. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it's the best way to start testing this. So far, we're not very tested with the, payments. Of course, the content creation and onboarding clients is something we've already done, but the last piece that we haven't is completing an actual cycle with payouts. So that's something that we really need to be focused on, like this week even, because the Complify period is pretty much done at this point.
Yeah, so I've got about 6 or 7 addresses. Like, people have used the website to add their address. So I've got maybe 6 or 7 addresses, and so once everyone should keep adding their addresses, and I can give them to you, Gabriel, and you can add them into Coordinate. Yeah.
One thing two things I would like to add before you go, Gabriel. And the first is, I think the pillar idea was brilliant. I had a very easy time I listened to the video, to your interview for Genome, and then I was able to produce the video quite easily for me. It was great. So I think this is a winner in the sense of doing a long interview and then using that interview for content creation. For the Coordinate, I agree. We should at least test it out. It's not binding, right? It's not like when you vote, then the tokens are automatically sent. No. It's just it's going to create a spreadsheet, and then we will use the spreadsheet to distribute the funds via disperse. So if we find that the Coordinate has produced data that is very bad or very skewed or very illogical, then we can adjust it and do it again. It's not like the Coordinate is binding, you know what I mean? It's not on-chain transactions. It's literally just a way to collect some metrics and then see what the results are, and then we decide if those are acceptable or not. If there's a huge deviation, then we can just adjust and re-educate the people on how to vote and then do another vote again if there's any issues with it. Right?
Yeah, sounds good.
So yeah, DeFi Trader, one of the things you can probably do, and that is you can probably try to hunt down those pillar things, and that'll give you a good overview idea of what the projects are that we currently have and so forth. And we can probably start with those as a content creator. You can go to those for an idea. But again, I think we do need a list of to do and done. Right, a to-do list is probably the easiest thing.
I made a video for Complify because I just saw that was one of the first projects you guys started working on, and it said that you needed 3 to 4 videos. I only saw 2 videos made, so I made another one. So I was just going through that and reviewing it, making sure it was good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's exactly how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what I figured out, so hopefully I did the right thing there. But that was kind of not that straightforward, honestly. What I had to do.
I think it's my
with that
fault.
spreadsheet and the project manager, I think it'd be a lot clearer going forward.
It's definitely my fault because I probably made the Trellos way more. Even the Trello, you could just have a Trello board that just has literally a card for each article. And then someone could just add themselves to that card and be I'm going to do this article, I'm going to do this video, and then just have nothing else in the Trello at all. But the way I did it, I've just added heaps of stuff to the Trello, so it's probably just overwhelming. So I could probably make a new Trello template that's just super ultra clear and simple. That would be basically a dashboard. I've actually done one for us, for Creator DAO. It's just got 2 columns, and yeah, so you could check that one out. It's probably
I think that would be very helpful because I did that Complify video not really even knowing if I should have done that Complify video. I was just kind of going in the dark, going through it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we could use the more complex Trello boards as project managers to, like, you know, because there is a benefit to having complex additional cards and shit. But yeah, probably the benefit, it doesn't outweigh the confusion in the beginning. Like, so we could just have like simple, ultra simple board or Google Sheet or whatever, like with just the bare minimum that you need. So you can just look at it and be like, yep, okay, I can do this. And then
Can we just do the? I just want to do the sheets. Honestly, I find the Trello overwhelming. I don't know who else, but like, even using the application is difficult. For me personally. So if there was just a
I like
Google
sheets
sheet,
too.
yeah.
I think if like, why not just let the project managers use whatever they want and just be like, here are the project managers. You wanna do something for Complify, talk to Junks. You wanna do something for Genome, talk to B. And the B would just say, you got to do this, you got to do that. I don't know, but I do agree that like the Trello, even me, I've been here the entire time and I've put in a lot of time on the Trello board, and it is quite. I go there and I'm like, well, I don't know exactly where I got to put stuff. If it was just literally like video 1, video 2, video 3, meme 1, meme 2, meme 2, meme 3, meme 4, and then I just had to be, oh, that one's empty still, so I'll produce a video or I'll produce a whatever. If it's a sheet, a Trello board, as long as it's very, very simple, and it's just like you open it and that's all you see is it's like a job board. You walk inside, there's a list of jobs, you pull the tab, you do that job, and then you go get your payment in a sense, right? Something very simple like that, and like easy to update. Yeah, like if I produce a video, then I can easily just put the video there, and I don't have to be like, oh, what's this, thing? What's this tag? Who do I gotta tag? Or what? All this stuff, like no, just here's this video needs to be done. I produced it. It's done. Like a Google Sheet is fine, I think. Just as long as it's organized and people are not, accidentally messing up things, deleting stuff by mistake or whatever. Or I think it's fine.
Yeah, I like the Google Sheet, honestly. I agree with you too.
Like a project manager, if he wants lots of metrics, lots of data, and he wants to, because in the long run, when we want to get bigger, better clients, they're going to want more data. They're going to want to know more stuff, like how effective was this? What kind of analytics? If we get to that level, then we can start to really pull in a lot of data and let the project manager take care of that. That's kind of whatever works for them. If B thinks it's easy to use a Google Sheet, then she should use a Google Sheet. If Dunks wants to use a Trello board, maybe he can use a very simple Trello board, but it has to be very like, I look at it, I immediately know what's going on. Not like, it's quite convoluted now, and it is. I agree that for a new person, it would just be to be 100% honest. If I came here today and looked at everything, I would just kind of be like, what? What's this? This is so hard, and I'd probably just move on. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't say for certain. But like, if I didn't know all you guys and I didn't know anything, and I was just, I don't know if I could put in the hours that DeFi Trader did just to dig through and sift through the ideas without any kind of like selling point, any kind of like prior knowledge of what's going on. I think it would be very intimidating.
I do see the benefit of using Trello board, but I can see the confusion for it as well for people who are not super familiar and who don't need to know behind the scene stuff. So yeah, like I agree. I think we need to just have a sheet or a simple Trello board that's really easy to understand.
Yeah.
And I think Dunks is
let's try the
transitioning
sheet.
us to that as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's try the sheet. Let's just make a sheet for like Gabriel said, for Genome. And like try and figure out how to lay it out. Like, let's give it a crack. I'm cool with Sheets. Sheets are good. We could also try Airtable. Airtable could be pretty cool too, but yeah, Sheets are cool.
Yeah, I'll get started on the Google Sheet and then just get feedback from you guys.
I got a question for you guys. What do you guys think of this? Should we be having people have to interact with the project managers, or just actually literally just go in the sheet? Oh, they need a meme. Boom, meme. I did it. Done. Put it on. It's done. Like, I don't know if that's the best idea, because there are specific client criteria and client dislikes and tastes that we have to kind of make sure we're filtering for. We don't want to waste people's time, what I mean? So I think the key filter needs to be that project manager.
Like, it's going to depend on the person. Like, someone who's, professional content creators, done hundreds of videos, like, they're probably going to be able to look at the project and make something that's good, that will work. But, like, if a project manager knows exactly what the client really wants, then like a 2-minute chat with that project manager before they make the video could make the video a lot more appealing to the client. You know what I mean? Like,
I think if there are specific requests for certain content, that could also come in a form of just a simple note next to meme, for example. Pre-sale is happening next week. Create something that creates a buzz. So like a simple note like that would help too. And if people have more questions about certain content, they could talk to the project manager.
I think if the project manager is like the gatekeeper, there's going to be friction for those content creators that want to create pieces of content. That's just one thing that will be added to that, though, if that were the case.
Well, there'll definitely be a bottleneck, right? And we want to try to avoid that as much as possible, right?
It's a hard balance to strike, because like, you don't want it to be so free and open that like, okay, everyone just do whatever you want, because then like you might have like 10 people just doing videos and wanting to get paid for them, and then we really only needed 4 videos, and like 7 out of those 10 videos weren't even relevant because the people didn't know the updated information about what was actually going on with the project. Like, do you know? So there has to be some kind of interaction, like, between the client and the content creators. Like, but then if
just to add to this, like in my opinion, I really hate having to like redo anything, especially videos, because it takes so long to edit and then upload and then have it ready. It sucks so much having to like redo things. So I would in my opinion, I would much rather be like, here are the jobs, here's the person. I just gotta message that person, and then I can do one of these jobs. That's great. Maybe I put my name, right? Oh, video taken by Caesar. And then afterwards, after I talk to B and I know what's going on, then I produce the video and put it into the link. So it's just like I put my stake down and I claim it, and then I work with B to produce it, and then I add it to the spreadsheet. You know what I mean? I think that might work quite well, quite easy, and be very honest. So then you would know. You go into a spreadsheet and all the places are claimed. Then I know, I'm too late. I'll go to the next spreadsheet and check that one. That might work in a very simplified way. Like, there will be some issues where people don't actually produce the content, or it's not of quality that's good enough, and then B has to then hunt down somebody else to do it. But like she said, she knows people. Like, maybe she can just hit me up and say, hey, Caesar, one of the videos where it's unusable, can you quickly do a video for me? And then I will just pump one out, right? So like, I think that's I think that's a good enough system, and I think it's sufficient for the content creators to come in and just be like, oh, I want to try to do this. I'll take my claim on this thing. And, you know, we don't have to be like, we can overproduce, you know, like say they say 2 to 3 videos and we produce 4 or 5 videos. That's not terrible. You know, okay, you just lost like maybe, you know, a small percentage of your revenue for your video because you're sharing it with like 5 people instead of 3 people. But as a client, I think they will enjoy that. And as a DAO, it's good for us in the long run, right? It's just, yeah, like you don't want to be like 2 to 3 videos and we end up with 10 people doing videos. That's something we have to really avoid, right?
Hey, DeFi Trader, is your video live?
That's
Yeah,
my
I
2
think the
cents on that.
spreadsheet would help with that, though. Just by what you said, making that stake and you claim, and that should hopefully prevent a lot of like duplicates, I would say.
DeFi Trader, is your Complify video live already, or just trying to?
No, it's not. I have it. I just edited it, so I was going to upload it. I wasn't exactly sure where to share it though, amongst like within the DAO.
Just drop it in the Complify completed work channel. Once it's live, and then I'll tag you in that channel now so you can.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
see it here. I'll drop it in there when I finish reviewing it.
Awesome.
Also, if you tweet it out, then we'll also like retweet anybody who's like, you know, who's alive at that time will retweet as well. So you get a lot more exposure in that sense. Do we have anybody like stepping up to take care of the overlay? Like, do we have any project managers for that? Like I said, I did the interview, but I'm not going to be able to produce any videos for a while on that until there's some sort of like UI to like actually get into.
I want to do that. I want to do the overlay. Like,
Okay,
someone
so-
else can do like, if someone else wants to do like next month Complify or something like that, like if we get next month Complify, like I'm keen to do overlay and basket DAO, like, for sure.
Do we need to like try to like recruit some more like project manager style people? Like maybe we can do a kind of tweet and then retweet that out. Is this something that we think we need?
Honestly, like, I don't really like B. You could probably handle like what? You could handle 2 or 3 clients, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, it would mean that I won't be able to create my content.
Right. Like
So maybe if there are a lot of interesting things that I want to create content for, I may not take on as many projects as a manager.
Yeah. I honestly
Yeah, just
think that once we get the system, like once we get a nice little system going, I don't think it's going to be that much work. Like just to kind of keep the ball rolling. Like I don't think it's not a full-time job. Like one project. Like you could do 3 or 4 or 5 projects. In my opinion.
I think so. Like I do enjoy coordinating, but it does take a little bit of time trying to get in touch with the point person from the project.
Yeah, I'd definitely take time, and you'll definitely want like, so maybe like what? Well, when
Another thing that takes time is just getting into their Discord, participate, and find out what's going on, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's like getting to know the project and getting to know. Yeah, getting to know the project, that's really important. Like being in the Discord. you know, yeah.
Or at least having like a representative from the project that is really like feeding you the pertinent information. That would be great too. But I understand like people forget about, oh, I need to tell this person this kind of stuff. But I think it might be easier for us than other people because they're paying us. So they want to get the most for their money. So it's can kind of be like part of their, their reminder, like you tell us when there's things you want us to cover, right? Like when Jax was in that interview with me, I said to him a lot. I tried to really push to him at the end there that he has the power to contribute in our Discord channel, so that in the hopes that we won't have to go to him so much, he can kind of just be around and be like, oh, this is good, maybe you can change that to this, or contribute with some criticism, like constructively, but some ideas and stuff like that. And I think he's done some, and I think that is quality. I think that will make everyone's life easier, because they know the project better than anybody, and they should know what's new and what's happening, right?
Yeah.
Now I have to go. It's like almost 1:00 in the morning here, and I gotta get ready to do some stuff. But if there's not anything else that's really pertinent, I'm gonna leave. And if not, of course you guys don't have to stop because I'm leaving. But if you guys have anything you want to ask me or suggest or anything, just now is the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone just make sure you add your address on the on the website so we can get this coordinate thing going as well.
So I have one question. So on the creator.vip and then the join page, you want us to fill that out even though we filled in the...
No. So it's I'll send a link to you now. It's 2 secs. I'll send you a link.
I filled out that spreadsheet initially. So is that something different?
Yeah, this is just to get your address, because we've got to add your address to coordinate, because you...
Oh, got it.
Yeah, he's actually asking you to like connect your wallet and connect it to some sort of email address so that we can be like, oh, this is the wallet that a DeFi user wants to get paid at. So then you can connect to the coordinate with that wallet and be like, people will give you the points that will get you paid to that wallet. So
I got it.
It's just any wallet that will be connected to your name, basically.
You can, and you don't. I don't like you don't. If anyone doesn't want to connect their wallet to this website, like, you can just DM me the wallet address and I'll just keep a list of the wallet addresses. Like, but this is just a kind of a cool way, because this is just kind of a cool way to do it. Like, you just have to create an account. You add your email address, Discord ID, and then you just connect your wallet, and then you're done. It works. Like, it'll take like 30 seconds to do.
Yeah. I can just get the link for that. I don't know where to find the link though.
I just tagged you. It's I just tagged you, and so if you have a look in your mentions, whatever, you should see it. I'll DM it to you here.
Yeah, guys, so I'm going to bounce. Thanks again for spending this time with us and with me and listening to me blabber. I'll talk to you all soon, and have a good day or good evening wherever you are, whenever it is for you. Okay?
Cool.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
I think I was having a little trouble with that form actually. Did you get my address?
Can you?
Because
I think what you did, B, is I think you connected your wallet before you created an account.
Oh,
Yeah. If you go, let me just DM you the address as well. Try again now, and if you have any problem, I'll.
Hey, you know what, Dunks? I think I've already done this already. Is there any way you can check if I'm in there?
Yeah, I think I did see that you were in there. Yeah. Let me just.
I don't want to do it and make a duplicate. I don't know if I could or not, but just in case.
I'm 90% sure that I saw that you had, but I'll just confirm now. Yeah. Okay. You've created the account, but you haven't connected your wallet. So if you just... Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you've created your account, DeFi Trader, but it looks like you haven't connected your wallet. So if you go back to that page and just... you might already be logged in, or it should, if you've saved your password, you just log in and then just connect your wallet and then you're done.
what about the password part? Like, are we just creating a new password?
Yeah, you're just registering. It's just like registering for any website. Like, yeah, so just just choose your own password and yeah.
Hey, dogs. Can you hear me?
Yo.
Huh?
Yep.
So I've just been thinking. I want to add this to all this stuff we said earlier. I feel like most of the issues we're having with onboarding is the lack of a proper documentation, right? So
Yeah.
there's no proper documentation of activities and roles, JDs, and what are required for participants that are getting onboarded on the platform, on the DAO. So I feel like it would be very useful if we set up sort of a Git book that sort of collates, all the various roles and their JDs, and then could have other areas like, for example, we talked about let's talk about having sort of a dashboard, or should I say Google Sheet, that could be used to keep track of activities that are being done and all that on the platforms, on the various projects. So I feel like a Gitbook doc could really go a long way to simplify a lot of stuff. So when somebody comes on and you go straight to the docs, you could just simply just read through. Like you just go there, it takes you from novice all the way to probably maybe at least intermediate level in terms of knowledge about the platform. It's seamless. I feel like, I don't know, or most of the projects I have been involved with, most of the crypto content that I've been involved with, there's always the need for the docs, eventually. So where everybody has to go to get a more refined or a more structured knowledge about the project or the platform. So basically, I feel like the docs is very, very important. right? Yeah. And then also, talking about project managers, right? Something that also came to mind was that quality control, right? Quality control. How do you check for quality control when people are just allowed to, basically come, create content and just get going. So how do you tell them that the content you created wasn't satisfactory? So therefore, we are not might not be able to, pay you for the work or something. And then the idea of creating, accepting multiple content just because you don't want to probably turn down some persons. How sustainable is that in the long term? You know. So I don't know. There's a lot of questions that could be asked along the spectrum of from the onboarding all the way to the work that's been done and multiple other cases like this. I don't know. I don't just something I've been thinking about. I'm sure I should share it with you. So yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm creating a Git book now. Do you want me to? I'll add your email. If you want to DM me your email address,
sure,
I'll
sure,
invite
sure.
you.
Cool. I'll contribute to that. I'll take my time between the weekend. I'll contribute to that. Yeah,
Cool.
I'll help you get out of. Yeah, sure. I sent I messaged you. So
Yeah,
see it.
got it. I'm adding you now. Just sent you an invite link to Gitbook.
All right, I'll go through it. Over the weekend, I'll commit a lot to it. Let's see how it goes.
Cool.
So I'll be leaving now. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Catch you another time.
Okay. Hey, Dogs, I don't know if you're in the middle of doing something, but I just tried to fill out the form again, and it says that the provider email is already registered. So,
Yeah, okay.
I think the last time I filled it out, that might have been
Yeah.
the first time I registered.
Okay, so just click where it says sign in.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just sign in, and then just connect your wallet.
Oh, my password. So if I forgot my password, let's see. So I lost my password,
Okay.
and I'm not getting an email from Creator DAO.
Okay.
Is it immediate or?
Look, what's your okay? So okay. I will.
So I use B926 as my username.
Yeah. Okay. I'll reset your password for you. Okay.
Okay.
2 6. Um. Right, I'm gonna just DM you the password.
Hello?
Yeah, I just DM'd you the password.
Okay.
Mm, 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 mm.
And it asked me to create account. No, I should just log in, right?
Yeah, just log in. Yeah. We're not used to logging in with the. We don't really log in DeFi anymore, do we? We just like
Yeah.
connect
Yeah,
our
that's
wallet
right.
and just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I logged in and it's showing me the form again.
Yeah. So now just click the connect to wallet button. Just
Is it the login with a crypto wallet?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why it says like 2-step. Like step 1, log in. Step 2, connect your wallet. But obviously it's not.
I need to change my network first.
It should work on any network because you're just signing a message. It should work.
Oh, okay. It doesn't have to be on the Ethereum
No.
network.
No.
Okay.
Mm, 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 mm.
So by signing, that means you would be getting the address.
Yes, I'll get the address. I'll show you. Let me share my screen. Hold on. So if I refresh this, I should see your. I'm gonna. I'll stop the. I'll stop the recording.